All right, what's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I'm driving a 1998 Acura NSX. Behind me is a 3.2-liter V6, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. And if you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. I'll be writing a complete article about the NSX. But let's get back to that 3.2-liter. Well, as you could probably tell, it is mid-engine, and it's really nice. I said this in my MR2 review. You get those sweet, sweet sounds right behind your head, and it's a really engaging experience. It's also a VTEC engine, so you do get a little bit of extra power, but the VTEC doesn't really kick in. It's really, really smooth. Now, the 3.2-liter that is in this NSX is actually the more upgraded engine. The earlier NSXs had a 3.0-liter. It sounds so good, and it's right there. It sounds Honda-y, but it also doesn't. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it, but man, is that fun to put your foot in. It does have an 8,000 RPM red line, which is awesome. Higher the red line, the better. The nice thing about the V6 is that right now I'm in 5th gear. I can put my foot down, and I'm gonna have passing power to pass anyone. I don't really have to downshift it. Like in my RX-7, if I'm above 3rd gear, I have to downshift if I want to pass. But this, it's not an issue at all. And like I said, it's a 6-speed, which I was actually really surprised. I feel like a lot of 90s cars were 5 speeds, but this is a full 6-speed. And we'll talk about the shifter once we talk about interior, but I really, really like the shifter. Clutch is real light, real simple. It grabs kind of high up, but it is the original clutch with 80,000 miles. It kind of feels similar to an S2000 when driving it. Not the same. They're definitely not the same. But you get more pull whenever you want it. Like the S2000, if you're just kind of cruising, I feel like it falls a lot more flat than this, and that's because it has 2 less cylinders. But driving this car, it's really easy to drive like a normal car. I'm doing 35 miles an hour right now, and it's super simple. Say the Corvette Z06 that I reviewed, that thing almost struggled to drive slow, but this, it's just another Honda at this point. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me I have a tachometer and a speedometer, both really clean and simple. I really, really like that. I hate cluttered gauges. To the left I have coolant temperature and oil pressure. To the right I have fuel and battery voltage. And that's it. That's all I really need to know, and that's all the car tells me, which is super, super nice. On the steering wheel, I have 2 little horn buttons, which work, and cruise control. To the left of me, I have a bunch of controls, which is really, this whole cockpit feels like a fighter jet. But to the left of me, I have vents, power windows, mirrors. But the really cool thing is that there's these 2 little vents, and they actually pop up to face you. So if you want extra cool air, you can actually kind of pop them up. I have no idea how they work, but I think that's really cool. So a previous owner has actually added an Android into the dash, so that part is not stock. But below that is stock. So you get stock air conditioning vents, you get air conditioning, which I am enjoying quite pleasantly right now. A cassette player, which if you don't know what a cassette player is, then down below that you get your radio. Then you get an ashtray and cigarette lighter, and then you get the shifter, which is really, really nice. It says the shift pattern right below it. It looks really, really classy. It's really notchy. It's like a Honda transmission, because it is, but it's such a small little contained area. I really, really like it. Then, of course, you have the handbrake. You have a little, I guess, coin holder slot thing area just to put whatever, and that's it. It's a 2-seater. There's no hope for a back seat in this thing, but that's because obviously right behind me is the engine. So what's nice is that the trunk of this car actually really, really surprised me. It has a pretty sizable trunk for being a mid-engine car, but unfortunately up front you don't really get any storage area. Normally the spare tire would go there, but other than that you get the radiator, you get the brake booster, and simple stuff like that. There's no real storage up front. But speaking of storage, above the engine, you get a little bit of storage, and that is for the target top. Yes, this NSX has a target top, which I think both target top on and off, this car looks amazing, but it does give you that open air experience if you'd really like that. Speaking of outside, this car also has pop-up headlights. Now, they're not my favorite pop-up headlights. I think the car looks so sleek with them down, but it does have pop-up headlights, and you gotta give a car credit for having pop-ups. This car attracts so much attention. We had someone honk. I think everyone's been staring that's gone by us because no one knows what it is. Hello. One thing I didn't expect either about the NSX was just how roomy it really is. Especially sitting in the passenger seat, you have so much leg room. It's really, really nice. But even over here, like, it's a sports car and I'm not crammed. One thing I didn't really realize before I did this review is just how dang long this car is. Because of the mid-engine, this thing is so long. Oh, but man. Oh. It just makes you smile. It's a Honda that really makes you smile. Now, something really cool about this year NSX is that there were a little bit over 300 of these made for this year. For 1998, there were a little over 300. And about 24 of them were in this color red. So this is really, really a very unique car. Now, I think the really, really interesting part about reviewing an NSX, especially an older NSX, is just how much the public's perception has changed about the NSX. Because when the NSX first came out, not a whole lot of people actually bought them. But once they stopped selling them, then everyone wanted them. And everyone wanted them so much that Acura then made it again in, I believe, 2016, but now it's back as a hybrid. And if you've watched NSX prices, they dropped down, they depreciated like normal, but then they spiked back up. And as of the making this video, they're still going up. I don't know if it's maybe the Gran Turismo nostalgia that this generation seems to have or what it is, but if you can find a good clean NSX, I would definitely grab it, and if you have one, I would definitely hold on to it. And you don't have to get on this thing to have fun in it. I think that's another really nice thing. The S2000, it wasn't fun until you were above 6,000 and you were banging off that 9,000 red line. Then it was pretty fun. But this, cruising, you get so much attention, everyone looks at you, and you have torque down low, so you don't have to drive it up at the red line to really have fun. I'm enjoying cruising at 40 right now, and you can't say that about a whole lot of cars. But this car is just so comfortable. Honestly, the only thing holding me back from taking one of these on a road trip, besides the obvious fact that I don't own one, is the value. I wouldn't want to get the stone chips and add so much mileage to these things that it would totally depreciate. But if it weren't for that, if there were a million NSXs in the world, I would definitely own one and I would definitely road trip it, because this is just, it's so nice. And I don't normally do this, but this car is so good looking, I'm going to cut the audio for a second and just show a video of this car. I normally hate cinematics and reviews because to me it's like, let's just get to the point. I just want to learn about it. I know what they look like. But I'm going to cut to some visuals of this car because it looks so dang good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 1998 Acura NSX. If you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshall.com/overdrive. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Oh, take care, guys. Goes aside from my soul.